Hello friends and welcome to the 7th episode of a multiplayer match between IR and Cabman. We saw some bomb being researched and then we got Astra University economic research. So this will be a long one, guys, because throughout this episode we would see a couple of crucial decisions and first combat engagement, or so I hope, because we're close to 116, where non-aggression agreements should be lifted. And IR still continues to research economics, almost all economics texts, to even further straighten his empire. He has a couple of turns before all-out war. He has two defensive buildings. It's ground battery, it's a beam stationary defense, planet defense, with the fighter or interceptor garrisons. He has only interceptors, I feel. So, or should I say, he doesn't have bombers or heavy fighters, so it's all which these fighter garrisons would have, just scepters, like them lovingly calling our community. I must refer him to community. So now it's everything is calm, of course. So some fleet goes to Kaf, some fleet goes to Letha. Some fleet is stationary at Drago. Yeah, it's the main combat fleet. And Lesathu would be colonized, it seems. Will be colonized, it seems. Shifting populations from housing systems to main hubs of research or production. A bit of situation with the food, which is quickly resolved. Shifting populations from housing Takamoko system to a corner system. As you remember, this system where Crystal was, and IR named it like this to discern it from every other system quickly, just to navigate a little easier through all those planets. It seems this Terran planet would be good for farming purposes. It's large. The food production there would be great. Removing pollution processor from the building queue, because nano disassemblers in this modification octuples reduces the pollution 8 times over, let's say it like this, for the understanding. So it shows quite a big amount of production. 40-something spies in the defensive IR has. Fleet's quite even. Buildings is still much better statistics, graphs at a Cabman site. scout being produced, so we should see either scouting the bottom part or sending that scout to the enemy lines to check on their position. I don't see the big fleet preparation from IR, so it's still saving the production, storing the production, not building those star bases for real. Still continue to research economic technologies, and still minimal, like punitive fleet where it just goes and destroys monsters again for economical reasons to colonize those planets. So it seems IR optimizes his strategy to the skin of the teeth, let's say it like this. I'm certain that he knows what he's doing, but if it would be me, I would already build some fleets to be ready, because it's like 8 or something turns before moratorium will be lifted and all-out war would start. So I'm really curious to see how IR would resolve the situation, because his fleet is pretty small. I don't see any battleships building. We don't have any major combat tech researched, and we see that main fleet is going to Corina system, or IR thinks about it. Let's remember that IR has jump gate researched, so it's beneficial to go to his between his own systems. For the speed purposes, will move 4 parsecs per turn faster if he moves from his system to system. But when he moves from his system to some unknown or system which is not in his empire, it will be just his ion drives plus navigator, which is 5 parsec per turn for the 4 spies as of right now. In the reserves, more spies being built. Almost all of those 1 turn. Buying from miners plant, leaving population on production, to gather that production and allocate it immediately for the next project in the queue. Great trick to do. Quite a basic one, but basic doesn't mean ineffective. Minuscule food surplus, it seems I didn't even bother optimize it. Okay, checking something, checking production values, removing freighters, because he has already like 46 hanging. Canceling some spies, leaving star bases. Continue with Star University. Great building, +1 to food, research, production. Really great building. With it, farmers would be more educated with miners, so they would produce more food and more production. Would know what angle they should use while striking with those picks and what length of cut should be when they cut those nutrients and other plants. Maybe getting their PhD while working in the fields or in the mines. Not sure it would give them, it would provide additional production of food, but the rules of the game, of course. Australian University, like a universal, pun intended, universally useful building to have almost in any colony. It's that good. Of course, maybe it's not appropriate time-wise to get it in smaller colonies or housing colonies, and they maybe should do their job developing our housing. But in all major colonies, it's a must-have building when you get it. It's like having intelligence, biomorphic fungi, plus micro-like construction in one building. So yeah. Maybe it's not fungi, but it's fungi. Guys, please help me in the comments how fungi, biomorphic fungi, it seems pronounced. Please help me here. Okay, some colony bases are going. At newly again colonized systems, where the main system is developed enough to build colonizing systems, colonizing bases, which allows to colonize their planets, which in the same system as the main planet, which builds colony bases. Buying some robotic factories, robo-miner plants. By the way, there are different coefficients when buying things. Most efficient is to buy when half of production is there for this product, this project. If it's still not a half of production stored, it will cost much more. So with this, game balances the ability to buy things, because if you could buy things in one turn too cheaply, it would be too overpowered, obviously. Changing some project to Astra University. It was previously planetary exchange, stock exchange, plus 100% of money generated by the colony. Astra University is better. That's for sure. Though, of course, stock exchange would be built as well, but after the Astra University. Couple population growth, as they are called when your housing gives you one full population, or 1 million of population. This each figure, each little fellow there represents 1 million people. So when 1 million people, additional 1 million people grew, you would get this additional representation of it. When it's still not a 1 million, a full 1 million, you won't have this representation, so it won't produce anything. So even if you would have 999k, it still won't be there and won't do anything. So this is why it's so crucial to have great population growth speed. Planetary gravity generator. It allows you to have gravity with accordance to your preferred one. For example, if you're normal G gravity, so you didn't pick any low G or high G, so it will normalize your any gravity on this planet to normal G. If you're heavy G or low G, it will normalize it to low G or heavy G, so maximizing your effectiveness on this planet. In the original, most planets with rich or ultra rich are heavy G or low G maybe. Here not so much. I don't see much of any gravity in this map generation. Maybe it's this map is like this, or maybe it's the changes in the map for the desimplification. Still interesting building to have, though considering that there aren't much of heavy G or low G things, gravities on planets. Graviton beam would be quite useful to have, because as a beam it's quite great because it does damage to structure even when the armor is still there. And second one, its damage is quite high, so it can negate the shield advantage which opponent may have, because each shield reduces the damage by the amount of the level of a shield. For example, if it's a 7th level of shield, additionally to the shield points which you need to deplete, each attack would be reduced by 7. So if your beam has a low attack, it may as well not attack as well, because shield can eat its attack, like fully block its attack, and even without depleting its points. So graviton beam has a quite high attack rating or damage, coupled with a heavy mount. It will be quite great against mid-tier shielding. However, IR decides otherwise, so it hints me that he won't be using, maybe won't be using beams. We see that enemy ships going, 5 enemy destroyers going for Amoeba at Leonidas system at the top right corner. IR scout goes to scout to Rosa system. Oh, and Jump Gate is only researching right now. Only in research right now. I'm sorry, I thought that Jump Gate already was researched. It only in research right now. So scrap my comment about faster movement between your systems, because for now it's only in research. When it will be researched, then yeah, it would be a valid comment. Shifting population from housing system again to main production or main research systems or planets, should I say. Checking building queues. Echo is newly colonized system with lesson and turn. Yeah, so we have jump gate researched, and I'm certain Cabman got that amoeba, and antimatter drive goes next. And again, as I said in the last episode, antimatter drive is a crucial research. It gives all that needed 5 parsec speed per turn, which with navigator percov most of the commanders IR has gives 6 parsec per turn, so it allows to travel in one turn between points of 6 and lesser parsecs of a distance. Why it's so important? Because your opponent cannot really react to this turn. You need to be prepared to this. If you're already midway, he can't react, because he will be in that system before he is able to do so. It can be done sooner if you're transdimensional. There is a transdimensional racial perk, but it costs racial points, which you may as well use in some economic upgrades for your race. It could be picked with evolutionary mutation if you left 2 free points which you didn't spend when you created your race. Again, this is a bit risky, but if you feel frisky, you can do it. That's possible. But again, most of the time the attack is picked, telepathic is picked, but you need 1 free point, not used point. Or, as we saw, cybernetic can be picked as well by a great degree of efficiency. So yeah, where go I? Continue to develop systems, newly colonized systems. As we can see, settlers or population going continuously from system to system. We see main fleet going to Messiah system. Again, going to Messiah system first, because finally jump gate is researched, so we'll move there by 1 turn. And from there, considering colonized colony ship goes with the fleet, it will attack the monster which resides there. I think it's amoeba or hydra. Doesn't really matter. The fleet is capable to engage any monster right now. '51 spy in the reserves. This Starbase Drag 1 almost built. Those will be needed as means of defense, and of course the means of additional command point to be able to field more ships on the field. Or should I say in the galaxy, in the void of the galaxy, yeah. vast space. And while we watching at Abyss, yeah, it watches us and all other highly philosophical things we can discuss here. What we want, I want more. Or should I? Joking. Shifting population again for the effectiveness purposes, to have things built faster, researching effectively, get into needed research points, needed amount of turns, as fast as possible, preferably, of course. And turn, and we get antimatter drive. And we'll go straight to Titan construction. This is strictly better than battleship, considering we don't have any battleships. We may have Titans straight up, skipping battleship altogether, but it has to be seen what I will do. But Titans are great. Quite hard to kill, quite spacious, quite destructive. They're good in the original, and VDC they're better, even better than the original. Shifting populations again from housing systems. Still, I'm really worried, guys. For some reason, of course, Eric knows what he's doing, but I'm really worried because I don't see ships building. Maybe he waits for Titan construction, maybe we see Titans being built when this research will go off. However, I didn't see torpedoes. I skipped a beam, which could help him. However, it would be quite hard to design any ship without any miniaturization levels, so but still, for the future, the beams are skipped, no torpedoes, no advanced missiles. I didn't see that interceptors were picked or not. So all air now has is couple of defense buildings and basic technologies. Of course, I could be mistaken. I may not notice certain texts. Unfortunately, I cannot check because it's VOD, of course. However, of course, IR can turtle. There is a possibility like this. He has tech advantage, so he may turtle his systems, maybe research a planetary shield, level 7 shield, or class 7 shield. In addition to it, they would stack, and it would be quite hard without dedicated bombers, bombing ship, let's say it like this, anti-planetary ship, to crack those colonies. I don't know if it would go like this, or if it's even effective enough, but the possibility like this exists. Maybe R feels like he needs some crucial technology or maybe his empire is not ready for all-out war, so he wants to prolong this period when he is getting ready. it has to be seen. But considering that IR has a much vast experience in this game, I'm certain that he will be alright. He'll just showing us how it's done. No fleet in 4 turns before all-out war. We already passed the 30-minute mark. However, I won't cut this episode right now because I feel it would be too uneventful. And I'm certain that in other 30 minutes we will cross. We are going to cross this 116 turn where some action should be. Okay, finally, that starbase at Oculus would be built. Okay, population is closing in, and tech is closing in. So the opponents is quite close to each other. By the population and by the tech from both sides, it's almost the same. Not the same, but almost the same. However, Cabman has quite a lead in the buildings department, and those buildings means more production capabilities, maybe more research capabilities even. However, IR has great research race +3 to research and democracy. Only things which could be better is artifacts world. Titan construction is researched and federation goes next in the research queue. So let's see if we would see any designs for Titans. I see a couple of heavy G planets, so maybe gravity generator wasn't as useless as I thought. Because if those planets is rich or ultra rich, especially if those are ultra rich, that gravity generator would add up with twice the generated production from this planet. And this is huge if it's a big planet and larger huge planet with ultra rich tag on it. Okay, production run is completed at MoO2 2. Someone played Megalomania maybe on those Segas. Those citation are from there. Production run completed. Feel free to point it out in the comments if you played Megalomania. Great game, great strategy game. Nothing so much like it in they're present. Did not really understand why. It was really a great game. Marine barracks going at some planets. I'm certain in preparation for building transport ships. They are needed for the ground combat or assault, planetary assault, to conquer the planet. Without those, we cannot build transport ships without marine barracks. Maybe it's built as defensive for defensive purposes, but for this there is an armored barracks which can be used for planetary assaults, but can defend your systems with tanks and battalions, which are pretty tough. So most of the time, opponent would be forced to bomb your planet, destroying it mostly, or getting just one population after a successful assault. This will help you not losing your technologies, because when someone attacks your planet and captures it with a ground assault, there is a chance to get technologies from you. And in this modification, this chance calculated from amount of building or structures staying intact after the assault. And when there is tanks or battalions or great ground army which opponent cannot defeat but wants to continue its military campaign further, most of the time this planet will be bombed, and when planet is bombed, building dying or destroyed quite fast. So even after opponent captures your planet, they won't have any chance to have any technology out of you. So if you're expecting something like this, build armor barracks on all related planets. In this modification they are quite cheap, they don't have any maintenance cost, so they're free. It's quite easy to get them almost anywhere. I'm not sure this is right call, but it's not me who decides. So I feel everything should have at least some consequences, but maybe not in this case. As you can see, I'm a little bit of a buzzkill. It happens with the bestest of us. Okay, we can see a couple of fleets stationary at the site of Cabman. Okay, we have an attack. Air Scout got attacked at Rosa system. So it seems, while blubbering, I forgot to look at terms. So it seems it's already allowed war. Scout got destroyed, and it seems we wasn't able to see what opposing ship had, what armor it has, what computer, what drive. But it was quite fast, so maybe it has at least antimatter drive. I don't have any doubt. Augmented engines as well, and maybe there is the leader there. Not sure it would give any additional movement points to it. So I'm certain it won't. I don't know why I mentioned it, but it was really fast. I know that some values for speed were changed in this modification to the faster side, let's say it like this, so everything is faster in the combat. And right now the ship of a Cabman just got to Air Scout in one go and destroyed it point blank with missiles. Maybe it had like one missile just for these purposes, just to destroy scouts. But this, it has great amount of lightness to it, let's say it like this, because the more systems and weapons the ship has, the less space it has, the heavier it is, so it moves slower. And when in this frigate is only one missile, he has quite a bit of space left, which allows him to move really fast. So I think this is the case here. Okay, buying some things and newly built systems. Hydroponic farms and all that good stuff. Automated factory, robo-miners plants, robotic factories, all those good things to up production and while having nano disassemblers. It's quite great. And we have those two fleets we saw earlier from a Cabman disappearing. So they're going, went somewhere out of our... of course, we got a scout there, so we saw those fleets, and now we don't have a scout there, so we don't see those fleets, and we cannot check them as well. We know that they are there, and our fleets are quite almost the same according to graphs. I checked not so long ago, but still it would be great to at least see what we're dealing with. But Cabman didn't allow us to see. Didn't permit us to do so. Shifting populations, again, constant process of migrating your populations from housing worlds to production, researching or farming hubs to those prime planets. So we had our first engagement, let's see what's going to happen next. Still colony ships, some star bases, but again only for storing production purposes. I don't see building those aggressively. Again, fleet of monster killing guys, some scouts going at zenith, 54 spies, not going to a Cabman site, so either IR is still defending, or there are some kind of additional rules which allow maybe killing scouts on your side, but not allowing to using spies or going into all-out war. Sadly, I don't know the specifics of those agreements, those conditions, additional conditions. Okay, so we get Federation, this advanced government, and going to Warping Dictator. This is building which allows you to stop incoming fleets for this system for additional turn, let's say it like this. So you can react, so you can relocate your fleet, or maybe buy something. About to buy, IR buys terraforming, quite inexpensive. Shopping, I would say. But again, he has money and there isn't much things to spend it on. Aside from, as you can see, we start to build some defensive buildings. Maybe it's like standard procedure at this point of the game, or maybe IR wants to turtle actually. Of course we would see it in the future, how it's pan out, how it will pan out, or going to. Okay, so we see some. I feel this is Titan in the queue, but we didn't see any ship design of that Titan, so maybe just for purposes of storing production when certain tech could be researched. And if we even bind fighter garrisons at certain system at MoO2, as we can see, the fleet of Cabman goes to MoO2. Maybe just a scout, or maybe it's a full-fledged fleet. I don't click on it for some reason. Maybe he did it already and I didn't notice it. Or maybe he understands that there are no fleets which can go through his fighter's base, fighter garrison on that planet. Okay, switching things around and building queues. Colony base goes first. Some population goes to Lesai. This is one of the newest colonies in the left corner. Astro University being built in a couple of turns. Buying biospheres, so the planet will be able to host more settlers or population. Bunch of housing planets continue housing, sending population at Iku. Again, as far as I remember, it's in the bottom of the map, not so long ago colonized system, but already quite developed. So 2 fleets of Cabman going to Cav and MoO2 systems without IR reacting pretty much, aside from building fighter garrisons. Interesting play. If you don't see any blockages or blockading, I can speak, English is not hard, then maybe be still not in all-out war, like in a Cold War, when the scouts can be destroyed if they are on your turf, but you can attack with the scouts or with any fleet like it all, or you cannot blockade systems. I will see it. Still, why them buying fighter garrison? A mysteries, which I will uncover, guys, for you and In the next episodes I would obviously inform you what's the deal here. Okay, one turn to the warp dissipator building, which is quite costly, I would say, quite expensive building, which should reduce any movement of closing ships, or should I say give you one additional turn to react. However, there are some tricks how you can work around it, how you can make your opponent defend the planet that you are not going to attack. Leonid's system, which Cabman conquered some time ago, is still in the midst of the development, only 4 population there. Okay, we can see that Cabman got telepathic with biological mutation, and telepathic gives additional bonuses, a bonus for spine, but it's not the main thing which is now a notable thing. Most notable things that we don't need transport ships. Okay, we have 2 blockades, yeah. We have 2 blockades, so we're gonna all out war, guys. So, or is it? For some reason I saw 2 blockades, 2 red titles near systems. Okay, warp predictor is there, and we see planetary flux shield. It will be turtling? No way. A colony base with natives there. Always great to have natives. Okay, I need to see colony view. Is there blockades actually? Or I just seen things? Okay, reshuffling population again, and we can see here. Yeah, it was for production storing, and still we can get warp predictor in 1 turn, only 2 turns. Okay, defensive buildings are going down at some colonies, so we may see some turtling in the front lines, and that's quite a prudent thing to do. Strengthen your front lines so they will be like your cornerstones of your defenses and your offense as well. Okay, Oculus Prime can build into detail in 1 turn. Again, prohibiting easier movement of opponent ships, fleets, which are superior. I remind you, Cabman fleets should be superior by the fuel cells, because Cabman is tolerant and can pick better fuel cells, namely iridium, which allows him to jump for 9 parsecs, traveled the distance of 9 parsecs without extended fuel tanks, with fuel tanks even for 11, if of course if he wants to do this, which gives him some freedom to raid backlines of IR, given the circumstances. It's quite possible. However, those interdictors and the inability to get 9 parsec in one turn traveled should give IR enough time to react. Many systems or planets getting defensive buildings. However, some systems are developing as normal because they a little bit deeper or farther from front lines, so they can allow themselves things like this. Okay, so Musator is now has enemy fleet in it, as well as CAF system, and we see a scout from Oculus going to MoO2, designing some additional ships. Okay. Yeah, that's the same design Cabman used against IR. Fast one missile frigate just to get in your face and destroy your scouts. Great design, what can I say here? Okay, it's still not clear. I'm sorry for this. It's still not clear if we actually already fully fighting, or it's just again some downtime before it and some additional rules in play. We need to see colony views to understand it completely, because there we would see if the blockades are in place, and if it is, then yeah, it would tell us if IR is under siege already or not. All in all, Cabman has initiative. That's for certain, because he has 3 ships, 3 fleets in the IR territory, while a scout of IR got destroyed a couple turns ago. Again, some defensive buildings with interdictors going down at some colonies. Again, an interdictor is quite an expensive building, as you can see, and not only to build one, it costs each turn 20 BC. It's like most of the buildings in the colony combined, or more or less. This maintenance is quite hefty. It's quite hefty one. But at this stage of the game, when you have like 400 or 500 BC per turn, it's not that punishing, but still it's substantial, guys. Don't let it fool you. You can't like build this interdictor anywhere and without any remorse. It still will cut in your savings or your income. However, yeah, 1000 income it's not that many right now. So we see IR continues to destroy monsters. As you can see from Yakut on Nasak, the fleet is going to engage Space Hydra. Yeah. We have scouts going to Mizir system, Cabman Mizir system, yeah, our scout or IR scout. And third fleet is going to Madeira system. It flies again. Okay, we have maximum amount of spies, 63. Considering that it flies quite the distance, it's just a scout with extended fuel cells. Okay, we're still in the status quo. We have both opponents close to even when we talk about technologies and population. Of course not even, like even, but closer. And it's quite an achievement, I should say, from both players to be this close, and from this modification as well, to allow quite a different races to be this close in a development, because the map is mirrored, so both players have the same capabilities in terms of development. So it's not like some player gets better start of or better planets, etc. Okay, and Hydra defeated, and we have a combat again and again. Cabman frigate goes past. Judging by its crew, it's a green crew, so maybe there is a leader which gets these scouts move first because it adds beam attack while having the same other systems, or maybe it was just a scout. So planet reflex shield are researched, and shield class 5 I think, or 7 going to be researched next. So maybe it's a Turtleon strategy right now, because I can see why. Cabman is applying pressure. And we cannot scout. Our scouts is easily killed by anti-scout frigate of Cabman. Some systems, some planets get in flux shields, and flux shields are buffed in this game. You can't really get to a planet with beams or even some missiles. Most of missiles can't penetrate flux and 7th shield, combat shield, because they're cumulative. So you need bombs, preferably antimatter and higher, and proton or plasma torpedoes or bombers or heavy fighters with bombs again. So quite hard to do something about. However, still there is blockading. Yeah, you maybe can't attack and destroy things, but you can blockade systems to do some economical damage. So you can turtle, but you cannot win with this. Again, this is my speculation. I don't know if it's like signs of turtling strategy or it's like a normal thing to do. Because my instincts like screaming, we need ships, the battle ships, the combat ships, yeah. Especially when you have titans, etc. Why not to get ships? But of course I know quite less than IR. So all I can do is speculate and watch and learn from the masters of this game. Okay, defensive buildings are going down. Populating building queues again with mostly defensive buildings. Again, adding defensive buildings in the queues. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 fleets nearby or in the systems of IR right now. Yeah, so Situla, Madura, Tirus and Saho system has fleets from Cabman. Flag shield is going down and is bot, or will be bot maybe, or not. Nope. Fire decides differently. Okay, Saho has a scout or a small combat ship. I feel like Tirus and Situla may have, in Madura may have as well, just scouts. And I feel at Madura there is a scout because it traveled quite a distance, as well as at Situla. Saho has maybe not a scout but a combat anti-scout ship, and Tirus may have a scout or anti-scout or anti-colonized ship, colony ship fleet. Okay, IR Hein Xenon system and sends colony ship there without any fleet, so it's certainly for this, most probably for this Xenos system. Purge the Xenos, yeah. 4K reference, Warhammer. Any fans, please comment on this. Unfortunately, we're playing 4 Xenos, or watching for the Xenos here and playing against humans. However, they both look humans, so I feel this is okay. We have some unidentified fleet at both system. Maybe it's again anti-scout fleet, anti-scout frigate. Cabman controls scouts of IR quite masterfully. We should give him that. Looking to unassign some leaders and send fleet somewhere. Yeah, send and fleet to Oba. Consolidating maybe. Again, trying to control scouts from Cabman. Still not doing much against scouts sitting in his systems. I didn't remember that he actually built that ship, this anti-scout ship. I'm certain that he designed it, then IR started to build defensive buildings. So maybe because of this we still seeing those pesky scouts of Cabman. However, in the flip side, we have many planets defended by defensive buildings, which is great. By the way, Commander Cure doesn't have navigator in the original. This in VDC modification he has it. Frankly speaking, he is most useless, I would say, commander in the original, because he gives bonuses for fighters only and nothing else. So this navigator perk is most welcome. Contemplating getting a flak shield at Madeira Prime. A prudent choice maybe, because it's one of the closest system front lines, and it seems from Saho system you can get there with the Cabman Iridium fuel cells. Okay, and assigning every leader, maybe to station there or to sit them in the other fleets, just to not lose them, which is quite easy considering some of the designs which can get up into your face and blow you up even before you can do anything. Okay, I don't see any blockades, so yeah, those are just the scouts not engaging in any combat. I really hope that we would see some action this episode, so I'm not cutting it. Okay, we're saving. I think it's for just in case something goes wrong. Okay, some combat is going on. Yeah, it seems IR is getting to remove. Oh no, this scout is Cabman initiated this combat. It seems just to investigate, check on the ships of IR. But IR would be able to check on at least on armor. Okay, he has interceptors. He's checking himself. Yeah. Let's see what Cabman has. Okay, not checking the Cabman. So it seems IR knows better what Cabman has. Class 7 shield, just one of the greatest technology you can get, and neutronium armor goes next, and you can see that IR contemplated getting iridium fuel cell, just hovering over it, but then decided otherwise, because this again, neutronium armor is a great choice. Without it, your ships are just like paper and would crumble against even one puny nuclear missile. Okay. And meanwhile, we're almost near the end of this episode. The Cabman presses the issue and now works like first number. Getting scouts everywhere, getting fleets everywhere. By the way, you can see that Xenon get a scout as well. Okay, again, saving just in case. To not replay those long turns. Good choice. So the Drago has this colony ship, but it still stays there. Again, great thinking not to send it to Xenon unprotected to get destroyed there, if that scout has any weapon with it. Own it, yeah. Let's check refs. Again, let's remember that Cabman get telepathic and tech and population getting closer and closer. Still building quite a gap. And whoa, did you see that spike in fleet? We have some major fleet incoming from Cabman. However, this is a story for the next time, for the next episode. We're going to wrap it up here. It was a long one. I hope you like it, and if you do, please tune in to the next episode. All the links will be in the description, so please free to comment, and of course have a great day, and bye bye.